Hi, and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy night to join me. I really do appreciate it. Tonight, we're delving into the world of boomer cornball slop. Okay, that's what we're talking about tonight. And for the record, I've heard of like AI slop. I've heard of just garbage in general. You feel me? But I do want to definitely dive into the whole modern trend of the cornball and how it's just like a thing, and I don't really think it's cool that like when I scroll through my feeds on shorts or even just in the regular video feed that I'm getting like ads, or just short clips of like Steve Will Do It, gambling with Joe Rogan and Dana White. Like, I mean, this is just an example of some of the things we'll be talking about. But if you can relate, you can relate. If not, it's cool. But most of the people that watch this show are, right around the age of like 25 to 40. So I don't know what it is about YouTube, but it doesn't matter what you do as a creator until you make it really big or whatever. It like really focuses on your age demographic. And so I'm just saying that Xers have just recently made a whole lot of slop. And moreover, I think it's kind of interesting because like they used to be cool, right? I mean, some of these people that have like their own podcasts and stuff now, and I mean, what's up with like really famous people interviewing other really famous people and like asking them questions like that no one wants to know? It's really beyond sort of like feeling privileged, you feel me, or entitled. It's just like no one wants to hear, somebody famous interview somebody famous about famous people things. I mean, other famous people might want to hear about that type of stuff, you feel me? But like, I don't know. I'm just really not into Stone Cold Steve Austin as, the host of a show. And that's all that I'm saying, right? Because listen, this is like the popular thing to do now, right? Turn on your phone, turn on the camera. Everyone all of a sudden now is the host of their own show. I get it, both ironically and unironically, right? I mean, you're looking at somebody who's clearly talking about something and is not nearly as successful as any of those other people. And no, I'm not projecting. Actually, I've been in this field for a very long time, probably most of my life, as it concerns public speaking and being taught how to communicate in different ways and so forth, gifted programs, all that nonsense. It turned out one interesting and unexceptional individual, didn't it? But anyways, I just really feel like the most cringe kind of cornball content now is just made and come from Xers who are just fascinated by the idea that they can make money on the internet. I mean, it's almost as if they didn't know that they could make money on the internet. And now everyone is just jumping in to be sponsors. And again, it's one thing when a content creator gets approached by, DraftKings, for example, or another one of them to like do a sponsor or whatever. But like, come on, Shaq will probably do anything if you gave him the right amount of money. No offense to Shaq, but again, that's not everyone's recipe for success, you feel me? Not everyone, like, is a sellout like that. I mean, just really. I know this to be true. Again, you think Michael Jordan walks around, just in retrospect, right, with the same kind of mentality as some of the other athletes of his era that do interesting things to raise capital. When this guy's sailing the world in his private yacht while still making residual buku money from Nike. And again, that's just a short end of the stick, right? Because Nike makes billions of dollars still off of using his name, and even though it's a small fraction of billions that he does receive, it is still a pretty substantial amount of money. However, just keep that in mind, yo. Like, Michael Jordan still only receives a small part of like his name and the products that his name sells, right? So that's kind of rich people problems, right? But I'm on the side of Michael Jordan, you know? It's like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, you know, I just, this whole boomer cornball slop content, it's too much. It's too much. As much as I liked seeing Sylvester Stallone star in movies in the 80s and 90s, I was born in 87, it's kind of weird to see these same people secure these, like, really big roles. I mean, again, I met Robert Downey Jr. in real life. No joke. They shot the Avengers here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay? True story. Had lunch with the guy. You know, he's a wonderful dude. Really awesome guy. Super funny. We spent maybe like an hour and a half together. Again, not just he and I, but I was with a friend. He was meeting my friend. They were having lunch, and I got to be a part of the very small group of people that had lunch that day with him. It was probably 4 of us, to be exact. Anyways, you know, that's just another good, like, why am I trying to see Robert Downey Jr. star in a movie 20 years later, like after I already met him from starring in a movie 20 years before? I mean, times change, you know, and it just is interesting. I think it's just this rabbit hole that people are stuck in for their certain age. Again, remember at the beginning of the video I said that the largest demographic of people that watch this channel are from 25 to 40, and that's from all over the world. It's all over the world. It's like equally dispersed from like places like Russia and the United States, and some Middle Eastern parts of the world. So like it's all the same age though, right? And I almost feel as if like we're all just being, you know, led down a path where Xers and boomers just want us to turn into gambling addicts that enjoy watching celebrities interview other celebrities that are now going on like 70, 80, 90 years old, 100 years old. I mean, holy macaroni. Like, I just, you know, it's one thing to appreciate your craft, to enjoy being an actor in Hollywood, to enjoy and to continue to get work. But at the same time, it's also like some like reverse age discrimination type stuff, I'd say, in that, like, you know, when old people, even legacy actors, female or male, they or them, continue to get these large roles and like are given so much attention and stuff, like, then it gives no new opportunity for other people to come in and do like creative stuff, you know? I mean, like, where would the world be if Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't open several cases of whoop ass in the 90s? You know, I mean, it's just a whole lot different when you want that same dude that's now an old man to continue to open cases of whoop ass. That's all that I'm saying, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. He can still continue to play some sort of role or whatever, but isn't there something so much more like cool and enigmatic when just people like walk away, you know, after just being super successful and just, again, going back to Michael Jordan, like, you don't hear about him much, only when, you know, he's living his life and just, you know, in a passive kind of a way mentioned, but, you know, he's not asking for the attention. He doesn't need the attention. He doesn't, you know, again, that's just the difference between, like being super, super successful and I feel like, you know, like just trying to stay relevant so that, you know, you can continue to live the kind of life that, and no hate on that, you feel me? No hate. Like, again, if only even just half of us could go into Nick Cage mode and do half of what he did in his professional life in our own personal lives, then goddamn, we'd be pretty strong and reliable people, right? I'm just saying that in the bigger picture of things, it's just real cringe to watch these older people now try and stay relevant again in a space that is not for them. Like, the internet, I feel like is not for boomers. It's not for Xers. You know, it's for everyone. It's for everyone, just to be clear. But I almost feel as if, like, you know, the democratization of anything should always lean younger. It really should, because that's just the way things go. I mean, as you get older, you become sort of rigid and different and a little bit more hateful and all these other things. But when you're young, you're an agent of change. You know, the things that you think and the things that you believe in, you know, like matter, you know, because you're going to be around for the longest period of time, and it requires change from within and all of these things. So that's all that I'm saying as it concerns the internet. I don't want to get it twisted, right? The internet is for everyone. Most things are for everyone. It's just, in principle, the democratization and the continued movement forward for the like socialization of the free internet and the internet as we know it now. Again, that's the responsibility of young people, because, you know, obviously if it were up to old people, including millennials like myself, your home screen would never change, and it would only ever remain the same, and you'd only ever be able to have pre-installed apps like apps that come from the large stores and stuff, and now control of like what you want on that and everything. And again, no hate here, like I'm a YouTube content creator, and this company is owned by Google, which is owned by Alphabet, the parent company of Google, right? So it's sort of like all intertwined and everything, but at least YouTube has maintained its freshness as an amateur content distribution platform, in that, you know, it's never, it's a perfect example of how the internet can be for everybody and for all age demographics, but should never be gatekept by the very people who just have all the money and can run all the ads. And again, no hate on Steve Will Do It, Dana White, or Joe Rogan in particular as men, but what kind of a world is it when men my age and younger are being bombarded with ads showing you guys lose stupid amounts of money and acting like it's just a daily type of thing for everybody, when you goddamn well know that dropping $80,000, $100,000 every single night at your favorite casino is not something that most people will ever get to experience. And again, so it's sort of like, what kind of ideals are we trying to like follow here? You feel me? Some rando rich dudes like perspective on life and how they blow through more money in a couple hours than most working families have to use to feed themselves and fill their fridge for an entire year. You feel me? Like, I mean, that's kind of like some dirt. That's kind of like more than an insult, I think. You feel me? Just because, like, if you want to lead by example, you should probably not do those types of things. So that's the end of my rant. You know, we're done talking about the Cornball X'R trend. And that's all that I gotta say, just because it's been showing up lately. And link in the description below, really cool video about cornball behavior, in case you didn't know what it was or anything at all like that. You know, you can listen to somebody that's about 15 years younger than I am tell you about it, and that's just fine. Maybe you'll watch these other 10 minutes of this dude and come to some other realizations, you know, with other people in your life and stuff. And I just, yeah, that's all. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching my show. I really do appreciate it. I really do. You know, it was an interesting week for me, and moving forward, I got a lot to work on, you know, so I'm trying to do that. I really am. As in, like, if there's ever been more of an effort to become the perfect person, then I'd like to know about it. Just because, you know, I'm trying, like, more than hard now, like, to just be my best self. You know, my health, everything. I don't even care anymore, you know, like, seriously, like my diet, everything. And I didn't think I'd have to do that this young, right? Because I'm only 37 years old. But things have happened to me recently that have made it pretty clear that, like, in order to maintain the kind of lifestyle that I want, right? No, like, compared to what we just talked about and stuff, which is just being my best self and, like, being as healthy as I could possibly be, doesn't involve some of the behaviors that I have still continued to have, you know, as a 37-year-old man going now on 38 years old. And so it's just another part of that maturity, I guess. I want different things in my life, and I've never really had this feeling, you know. It's kind of interesting. I want different things. I don't want more things. I don't want an extravagant amount of things. I just want to do different things for myself and the people involved in my life, you know, like that's all. And that's all that I will do. So it's just a very small, and it's a very like slow process, very like tenuous, very tedious, you know. And so I just am working on that. And so for the next couple weeks, actually, I will be, you know, pretty proactive in lots of the things that I'm doing in my personal life, and I hope to share most of those things with y'all. You know, if not at some point in the near future, all of it, right? But it's an interesting time for me as a middle-aged man. You know, I'm not gonna say young man anymore because I'm definitely not young, comparatively speaking, right? When I was 20 and I thought of being 37, it was basically that was going, you know, just right on to the top of the hill to start going down the hill. And I just, now that I'm 37, I don't really feel like that. I don't really feel that I've done anything with my life at all remotely to even consider sort of taking an extended break. And I feel like that's obviously because I've taken my extended breaks, you know, 20 years before other people decide to take their extended break. So I'm just living my life ass backwards, essentially, right? And that's been the plan the whole time. It's been a really difficult thing to do, and moreover, I didn't realize that it would involve all of these, like realizations of myself and my behaviors and the things that I want to do, and you know, the things that I aspire to be and so forth. So it's a real interesting time. Life is never dull, and so much as I just want to kick back and do nothing, you feel me, and I've done a pretty good job of being a complete failure my whole life. Now it's time for something different, you know, like seriously. And it's really interesting to be where I'm at life in life right now. And I know that the next 6 months or so are going to be especially interesting. This channel, you know, just hit like 2,600 subs or whatever, and there were some subs that were pouring in like all night, you know, and it's sort of just like, this is a good thing. My phone doesn't work, y'all. I'm talking to just myself. Like, this is going okay. The future will bring us all very good things. And when I say all, I mean sort of like, you know, I'm the type of dude that, like, wants to give back to my subs. I want to involve people. I want to give things away. But I need to have things to give away first. And I need to be in a place where there's some money kind of coming in to take care of all of those things that will inevitably need to be taken care of, you know? And so, yeah, that's all. I hope that you guys have a really good night. I hope that you're taking care of yourselves. Don't mind me and my character, you feel me? Like, I get it. It's a whole thing by now. And it takes a lot of energy for me to, like, do this, you know? Not a whole lot, but definitely an amount. And I appreciate y'all rocking with me, and I appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity, as I've said countless times in the past, and as I will continue to say countless times into the future. You know, I really do appreciate y'all. I hope that you guys have a really good night and a good start to your week, whether or not you're working, finishing school, or, you know, just doing nothing. I truly wish you the best, and I look forward to continue you know, doing these vlogs and stuff. So my name is Albert. This was Vlogs About Nothing, and I hope you guys have a really awesome night, okay? Alright, bye.